I just wanted to give you a few points to be considered. That is, within the existing institution, we require faculty competence. That is one area we require. Identifying the priorities, then the autonomy of the university, and then the mushrooming of higher educational institution, then financial situation, then we have a serious lack of accountability. So I think these are the points I would like the participants would like to discuss over on it. And I want to conclude this with a small quotation from Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. If all is well with the university, all is well with the nations. I think here lies everything. So I'd like to discuss over this by the participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I would request the next speaker, please.
Good morning to all. I am Ngawang Tashi Babu from western part of Arunachal Pradesh. I have been working with an institute run by NGO called the Central Institute of Himalayan Culture Studies, which is just taken over by Government of India, Ministry of Culture. The institute, beside offering the modern education, we emphasize the Himalayan culture studies or Buddhist philosophical studies. As you know, the western part of Arunachal, the two districts, Tawang and West Kameng, it's Buddhist dominant area. That's called Mon region as well. If you look back to the history of the education, we did have monastic institutes, which are still continuing, where the studies on educations on Buddhist philosophy was delivered. And now, the present situation and challenges, actually I came with short write-ups, but since we do not have time, I will just come down to few challenges that we are facing. After 62 war, definitely the government of India took interest for the development of that region. And definitely we do have many schools in primary level, of course also in higher education level we had just one college, and the second one that I just mentioned, the Central Institute of Himalayan Culture Studies, that's also located in West Kameng district. So as of now we have two colleges, but lots of challenges there, like infrastructure developments is still needed, and we have many schools with just one teachers, and we have schools with no playground, no communication, especially like telephone, internet is way far, which is what I see as one of the most important. We are talking about vocational education, which our Honorable Minister just mentioned a few minutes back. But without communication, it's like telephone, internet, and so on. It's what I see, it's completely impossible. Because people in that area, that region, there are a huge number of the people from that region who don't think the education is that important. So we have to expose that part to the world, I mean to the modern developed society. And the only media, I mean the way that we can do is through the better communication. So that's one thing. And then number two, as far as the infrastructure development and quality teacher, to assure the quality students, there's a big challenge, especially from the politics. Few months back, it's my own experience. I went to a village and to the school where I studied when I was young. And the Gaumbura told me that, surprisingly, oh, our teacher is back, the school teacher. And I asked, why are you surprised? He said, I can rarely see him. And I asked him, no one controls? And he said that because of the political background. So those are the problems. And then also the student politics. And so many things are there that if the IGNOU or the government can bring some solutions, would be of a great help, so that we won't lag with the education.
Thank you.
And so on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm Sushil Ramola. I represent BABLE, Basics Academy for Building Lifelong Employability. It's a part of the livelihood promotion organization called BASICS, which works in 21 states with about 10,000 people and has impacted the lives of about 2.5 million people in the country. I'm focusing on vocational education, which an organization which I helped co-founded with BASICS. Coming to Northeast, we are working in 4 states at this point of time. We are working in Sikkim, building vocational education. Focuses almost entirely on those whose schools have failed to educate them, which means we normally call school dropouts. We are working with them to build their employability in a lifelong way, and that's the name BABLE, making an organization which can make them lifelong employable. In Sikkim, we have built 16 vocational education centers. In Manipur, we recently started a center for working with the Nehru Yuva Kendra volunteers. In Meghalaya, BASICS has 225 CSCs, which you would be aware of, common service centers. And here's where the project starts. The purpose of this project is to take digital learning enabled by digital media to the last mile, which is to the villages. And this is a collaborative project with IIVET. Dr. Guha is here, and he initiated this project along with BASICS, because BASICS has the mandate to build 225 centers in the villages. These are each one is headed by a village level entrepreneur. And what we have done is that in 60 of these, we have added a few computers, and we are training the village youth, which has dropped out of school, or our young children, to enable them to understand digital, make them digitally literate, improve their English education, help them develop as a human being. And this work has been done by my team, who are here, by Ms. Janice Lane and Ms. Colleen. I would request you to come up, and because I don't have time to go into details, but I would request that later on, Ms. Janice Lane, I think, please stand up, and Ms. Colleen, who are here, who have built 54 of these 6 centers in the last month's time. This is the beginning of a very large initiative, we believe, which can run across the country through the CSCs, where we can take the learning using the digital media, which Professor Srivatsan talked of, to the each and every young adult or child in the country who have the aspirations to be a part of the developing economy, and particularly in the Northeast, where they have a need to be engaged with the mainstream development. In the absence of this connectivity, they are normally disengaged. So it is an initiative to take this forward to them. What we plan, this is a building block, we believe, on which we can build a large number of vocational education programs. We can you provide the distance learning for them to go to schools, complete their school education, go to colleges, learn more. And if this can happen in 225 centers in Meghalaya, it can happen in 600,000 villages across the country. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's a wonderful thing to hear you, and everybody would be feeling encouraged, I suppose. I would invite Natwa Thakkarji. So please, a few minutes.
Thank you, ma'am. My name is Natwa Thakkar. As the name suggests, I am a Gujarati born in Maharashtra, and for last 55 years, I have made Nagaland my home. Two additional qualifications I have is that I have lived in the midst of violence all these years. So I have a unique experience. Number two is that I have been a witness of society emerging from almost say 18th century civilization and aspiring to reach the top, the best that is happening in the world today. These are my, otherwise I am in minority of one amongst the academics and professors and educationists that have assembled here. But I have only 3-4 things to bring out. When we talk of education, there are general observations which are only for the world as a whole, and because Northeast part of world also happens. Number two, that I would like to point out is that my motivation of going to distant Nagaland and work as a voluntary social worker was mainly the result of the spirit that was generated during freedom struggle. Now, when I think of the Northeast which I saw in 55 and now, one of the most striking things and one of the major achievements of independent India is the growth of formal education in the Northeast. From zero to, there was no university till 47. All colleges were affiliated